Carla, the Cosmic Crone, and it's time for the Virgo full moon Divine Feminine astrology reading. We are just under 12 hours from the full moon, which happens where I live at 3:17 a.m. tomorrow morning, in the wee hours of the morning, 27th of February. The sun is in Pisces at 8 degrees 57 minutes, and the moon is in Virgo at 8 degrees 57 minutes. Full moon is that opposition. And tonight, or in a little while, in a matter of a half an hour or so, the moon will be rising. And after I've finished here, I'm going to go watch it rise over the pond where I live. Oh goodness, I'm looking at this chart. This is actually my moon. I was born under a Virgo full moon. My sun is in Pisces. It's a little further along. I am about 10 days from my birthday. But it's still my moon. So this one is resonating. It's resonating with my soul and my emotional body. And you would find that too. When the moon crosses the moon that you were born under, you feel it. You feel it very intensely. So all you Virgo, Pisces sun, Virgo full moons out there, this is your moon. The aspects. What is this moon telling us? Virgo is the sign of the priestess. Pisces is the sign of the oceanic, galactic, unconscious, dream world depths of the planet, of the soul, of the universe, really. But since the Earth is the center of the chart, it is of this terrestrial life that we live on. It's like Pisces, it's considered the 12th house, the accumulation of all of the other houses. And that is where the unconscious and the dreams live. The deep well of creativity, the deep well of spirit, the roots of your vision, oceanic, galactic. Earth, the depths of the earth, and the expansion into the cosmos. It is like the portal. What comes after Pisces is Aries, new birth. The child, not the Leo child, but the young one, the one who is just bursting on the scene, full of potential. So the sun in Pisces opposite the moon. Full moons, like new moons, are a kind of portal. The full moon is almost the thing that came through the new moon portal has expression here. So we begin to see that which was born in the Pisces new moon. Oh, actually, we haven't had a Pisces new moon. That's coming. So things are so that the full moon is before the new moon. But it is bringing the last Aquarius new moon. This is bringing forth what we felt, what we experienced, what we asked for in that new moon. This is the sign of the priestess, Virgo. She's known as the sign of the Virgin, but we know her. We know her as the priestess of the Great Mother, the priestess of the goddess. And there in Virgo is Vesta. The moon is still, it's not yet in a conjunction as of tomorrow morning at the full moon. It's close, and the moon moves quickly, so by dawn, or not necessarily by dawn, but certainly by lunchtime, the moon will be in a conjunction with Vesta. So this full moon is igniting or illuminating with heart and soul and feeling this archetype of the priestess. And there are a couple of connections. Everything in Virgo is trine everything in Taurus. And a trine is a flow. It means that the energies in Virgo are congruent. They are resonating. They are in a harmony with the energies in Taurus. They're working together. So what we have Vesta working with Black Moon Lilith. We have the priestess working with the divine feminine before, the feminine of the great void, the creatrix, represented by Black Moon Lilith. The feminine before patriarchy is how I understand it. And then we have the moon resonating with Albion the Thresholder, a shamanic kind of being who guides people through birth, death, and sex. And Uranus, who is he's almost like a priest figure. He is the spiritual epiphany, the sudden insight, the sudden change of fortune, the opportunity, or even the tragedy coming out of nowhere. So Albion and Uranus have been traveling together through Aries and into this first part of Taurus, and they are awakened by this moon. So what does that mean? What is the story that this tells? The story I'm going to invite you to meditate on what this story is for you. We just came through the Mercury retrograde, and it was intense. And now Mercury is still in its shadow phase, but it's moving full steam ahead. So we are feeling ourselves move full steam ahead. And there are people coming into this full moon. They're feeling the intensity. And there is this discipline, a practice of saying, oh, let me shift out of the intensity into presence, into my body. Let me drop in and feel what is true. Let me look at what the new moon with all those planets in Aquarius brought. What was activated there? What is sorting out now? Because the full moon is saying, let's line it all up. Let's sort it out. And let's see what's coming through. Something big, something significant wants to be born. And there are mediators here. The priestess is a mediator between the physical and the non-physical. She also has elements of Saturn in her because she manages the physical world of the temple. And so we are crossing a threshold, and it has this energy of no turning back, of being something we cannot see what's on the other side, and we cannot see it until we take that step of faith. And the interesting thing is this is in Taurus, and Taurus is a hoofed animal, grounded. Virgo is grounded. She is connected to the earth. Taurus, the realm of Venus, the realm of sensuality and beauty, and a level of wealth, and a level of very, very connected with nature, because the bull grazes. The bull his paws are pounding the earth and digging up the earth, and he is grazing on the grasses and the flowers of the earth, and luxuriating, and Venus rides him. We don't see her that way, but what if you imagined it? That she is, what does she have? That Venus would be the ruler of the sign Taurus is surprising. There's a story there that I probably don't know, that I've never explored before. Venus has moved into Pisces, by the way. She is exalted in Pisces. She loves that oceanic galactic space of Pisces. That is where her power lives. She draws up her erotic and sensual and abundant nature from that deep ocean space and connects it to the galaxy. That she is the Queen of Heaven. And she will be moving through Pisces all the way until equinox. And shortly after equinox, she will slip over into Aries. Her sojourn in Pisces is quick. And so here we are at the beginning. She is at 2 degrees Pisces. Take advantage of her. She will come into she'll come into her conjunction with the sun on the other side of the sun. She is as far away from the earth as she ever gets. And she will come opposite Vesta. And so she will be singing. She will be singing to the priestess. She will be calling the priestess to turn her face towards Vesta. She will be calling on Vesta to turn her face towards Pisces and Venus and Neptune and everybody else who is there. And there are everybody who was in Aquarius is going to be moving into Pisces during this moon cycle. Not everybody, but the ones, the quick movers. So we have a song going on between Black Moon Lilith, Vesta, and Venus. This divine feminine, exquisite, beautiful. And I'm just looking over. I am seeing what else. Well, there's a heck of a lot going on here. Let's just breathe into that for a moment before we move. What I want you to think of, if you're out looking at the moon tonight and even tomorrow night, it's going to be cloudy here tomorrow night probably, so tonight's our night. Recognize that Vesta is very close. We typically don't see Vesta with the naked eye, especially not when the moon is full and bright. But know that Vesta is there. And feel riding that moonbeam down into your body. Feel the energy of Vesta speaking to you, calling you. What does she have a message riding on those moonbeams? I know she does for me, because she is going to be making a conjunction to my natal moon on my birthday and the days just surrounding it, as Venus will be making an opposition and a conjunction to Nessus. So there's a lot of healing work around the trauma of denying the feminine. The trauma that is embedded and natural, part of patriarchy's modus operandi, is to traumatize the people so they don't know which way is up. They don't know who they are. Our neurology gets all screwed up by the trauma, and so we look to the perpetrator, the patriarchy, as a system to save us, to keep us safe. It's kind of part of the way that whole trauma relationship screws with us. You know, we ask, how can people vote against their own interests? That's how. So this is being illuminated by this full moon, and this full moon is activating the epiphany, the awakening, the threshold, the divine feminine, the queen of heaven, the priestess, and the dark goddess. And there's something else that's being pointed at by the full moon. There is an aspect here called a yod, or a finger of God. Here's what it looks like. Let me see if I can show you that. These green dotted lines pointing to the moon. And this is Saturn and Chiron. This aspect is called a sextile. And then if the sun is right in the middle. And the quincunx, or it's not disconjunct, it's like just one thing off of opposition, and I can't even remember. It's quincunx. And I don't usually talk about it just because there's always plenty more to talk about. But when I see a yod like this, the sun is coming down, it's going to be in my face. So, well, I'll just shine like the sun. When you have a yod pointing to something really big, and sometimes I see them in the charts that I do for other people, and I talk about it because it's clearly telling them something really important. Today, it's saying that this moon is activating something really important. So if you know your own chart well enough to know that this moon is crossing something important, like a Pluto or a Venus or a sun or a moon or any other major aspect, pay close attention, because the moon is transient. The full moon is a portal that opens up the possibilities, opens up the can of worms, unleashes the energy. The Saturn-Chiron connection has been going on for a few weeks and will continue for a while longer. In fact, they will probably be dancing together for a lot of this year, as Saturn is going to be taking its trip through, they'll both be doing retrograde and going forward dances around these first 10 degrees of Aries. So Saturn, the lawmaker, the form keeper, the Hierophant, really. I don't know if he's the Hierophant in Tarot or not, but he is somebody who holds the form. He makes the rules. He's tasked with making the rules, but really he holds the form. And so that can be legalism, institutions, corporations, organized religions, governments, things like that. And it is also the one, there is a priestly or priestess. There is Saturn contained in Vesta, because holding the form. Chiron also is a mentor and a healer. And he holds a form, but he also teaches you how to work with the form, how to master the form, how to create change with the form. The form is not static. The form in its pure state, its functional state, is evolutionary, which is why there is a problem with some of the ideas like the founding fathers or the Bible is literally true. Some of the principles that some people live by, it has to be this way and no other, because all of our forms are living and transformative. They serve us, not the other way around. So Chiron is known for healing, and in a chart he represents the areas of life that need healing, that are calling upon healing. And he doesn't just say, heal this. He says, this is how you heal it. Let me teach you how to heal. Let me teach you how to show up as your most powerful self, to how to uncover the truth. And so Saturn and Chiron become very powerful allies in this phase where Saturn is in early, going back and forth between the first half of Aquarius, and Chiron moves more slowly. So he's kind of sitting here, and Saturn will leave and come back and leave and come back for a good part of this year. And today, this full moon, they are both pointing to the full moon and the priestess. What does that say? What it says to me it says, be schooled by your emotions. Allow your emotions to flow. Let them teach you. Let them heal you. Allow all of them to come forth. Anything you have been repressing. I'm going to bring this closer. Yeah. Anything you have been repressing, it's time to express it. It's time to reach in and find it. Touch it. The moon will do it anyway. So you can spend your energy trying to repress it or judge it and say, oh, I shouldn't be feeling like this. I don't want to feel like this. It hurts. It feels bad. It brings up, a lot of times our darker places bring up shame, and we think, well, that must mean something's wrong with us. It might bring up blame, outrage, a feeling of impotence, like I can't do anything about this. There's no place to put this. Something was done to me and I can't get justice. Or I did something and I can't receive grace. You may feel either or both at the same time. And so this full moon with the priestess is here to support your exploration of these emotions and to bring forth the epiphanies, the new discoveries, the spiritual truth, the expanded consciousness. That's Uranus down in Aries, Taurus. So that is a resource that's available to you for the full moon. To go out. If you're up north here where we're living, it's going to be cold, but it's going to be clear where I am. So you can go out and drum or sing or dance or shout or just feel those moonbeams with the energy of Vesta shining down. And then feel yourself supported and held by Saturn and Chiron, holding the ground, holding the fire and the air. That's kind of volatile, isn't it? But Saturn is square Uranus. So Saturn is connecting to Taurus. And there's another aspect here. There's another square. Two of the players in the Aquarius dance that we did last moon cycle, Hecate and Pallas Athene, two very grounded beings. Hecate is another one who goes between the worlds with you, who stands to mark the points of decision and helps you on your underworld journey, gets you there, brings you back. And Pallas Athene, mental strength, strategy, emotional and mental intelligence, intellectual power. These two are square, a triple conjunction in Taurus. And that is Algol, the demonized goddess, one of the Lilith star, Mars, and Sedna. Sedna is the deep goddess, lives at the bottom of the sea, the goddess, the creation goddess of the Inuit people. I'm going to move this again. Oops, no, let's see. Sorry. I'm trying to stay, the sun is blinding me, so I'm trying to find the sweet spot as the sun moves. That's a lot of power there. That is Mars, masculine, holding the energy. You have a decision to make. Mars is a great support for decisions, and when he is connected to Pallas Athene, they work really beautifully together because she is the feminine who is carrying a lot of masculine energy. Her intellectual powers, her as goddess of war, she is incredibly connected to Mars, so she can tap into the mental aspects of that masculine energy of decisive action taking. And so much of this work that we do with our emotions, if we're going to not sink into a swamp of emotions from which it feels we will never emerge, ultimately there's a decision to be made, a choice. Am I going to choose pain or am I going to choose pleasure? Am I going to see myself as whole or am I going to see myself as a hot mess or beyond redemption? Am I going to look at the resourcefulness of this moment, or am I going to judge it? And sometimes we can be in this vacillation of making the decision. We get pulled off, we make the decision, we get pulled off. And so we are looking at a tendency of overall, I choose to come through this. So that energy is here. That energy is here, and it comes into the picture through this square to Hecate and Pallas Athene. What else is going on? There's one other beautiful resource up in Libra that is opposite. No, she's not opposite. Also connected to Hecate and Pallas Athene, and that is Magdalena and Haumea. And this is a ton of creative, divine feminine energy. Magdalena is feminine Christ consciousness, the great teacher of love. And Haumea is the creation goddess of the Hawaiian people, the ancient Polynesians. And she is the mother of all of their gods, including Pele. And these two have been dancing in a close conjunction for months and will continue to do so for a while longer. They are just in sync right now. And I don't talk about them very much, but I felt like mentioning it today because they are just sitting right together. And it's worth a mention because this is supportive, creative, resourceful energy that is available to you. Oh, blessed women and men, if you're listening. This full moon reading, it is a time of gratefulness, of celebration, of feeling yourself, loving yourself, joy. And it is a time of deciding how you will heal. How will you go forth throughout the rest of this moon cycle? How will you use this extraordinary resource, the sun illuminating the deepest parts of your psyche, the oceanic galactic space of the world, and the moon reflecting that light back through your deep emotional resonance, and the incredible groundedness given to you by the energy of Virgo and the energy of Taurus working together. You are of the earth. You are here now. You belong here. So that is the full moon reading. Excuse me. And so I'm going to stop avoiding the sun now that, yeah. Thank you so much for being here with me. If you would like your own Divine Feminine Astrology reading, we are booking for March. So just say something in the comments and I'll get you the link. Oh, thank you. Hi, it's so good to see you. Well, I'm going to say goodbye and go watch the moon rise. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.